It may be wintertime, but real estate experts say the current real estate market is seeing activity which is more like what we see in spring. So if you are one of the many people out there seeing what's available, there is one thing you should do before you sit down at closing. We're going to go deeper on that now with Eldad Moraru of Compass Realty.
The reason you want to have a home inspection is because there's a lot about a home that you cannot see with the naked eye. I mean, you probably have no idea how old the furnace is, how well it works, the appliances work. And usually when you see a house, you don't really have the time to look at everything and test everything. And you certainly aren't going to get on a ladder and climb on the roof and see the condition of the roof. Is it leaking? Unless you get into the attic, you won't know. And it's not the kind of thing you're certainly not going to be able to do at an open house, and typically not the kind of thing you can see just at a regular viewing of a property. So you bring in the expert who tests the electrical. That's the other thing. You can't see inside the electrical panel. You're not going to bring a screwdriver with you. Sometimes a house can look great, and there could be some big expenses that you're going to inherit, things needing replacement. And there's absolutely no way to truly know without an inspection.
Talk about some of those hidden expenses. And I think some of the most expensive projects are the things you don't see, right?
That's correct. Actually, I'm in the middle of a transaction right now where we didn't know till we did the home inspection that the roof is at the very, very, very end of its life cycle. Now, that's a big ticket item. You know, we're talking thousands of dollars, not hundreds of dollars, but thousands. Hot water heater, because what happens to a hot water heater, they rust out and then they just leak. So imagine 50 gallons of water, just not only that, the water keeps running, just going into your basement. Now, it's not really about replacing a hot water heater, which is maybe $1,200, possibly, but the damage that an old one can inflict on your basement could be in the thousands of dollars. The other is the HVAC system.
All right, if you find anything you think should factor into the price, it's not a deal breaker, but it's something you want to see some compensation for in the process. How do you negotiate that?
Let's say you do have contingency written in a way that you can negotiate. You can either ask the seller to make repairs or replace things, or in lieu of doing those things, giving you a dollar credit. Now, I oftentimes prefer that my buyers get a credit from the seller and then they do the work after settlement, because then they have control over the contractor they choose. But you got to remember, and this is really important, any credit the seller gives you has to be approved by the lender, and they will put limits on how much money you can receive from the seller. Typically, it cannot exceed your closing costs.
That's Eldad Moraru of Compass Realty.